and we pull everything. We just open the legs nice and smooth. We get to the omoplata.
So most of the stuff that we do, it is tactical. We mainly focus on the grips first because you can't throw without holding on to somebody.
And Judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are the same exact art.
I'm here with Olympian, Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, with a big question.
And I'm here with Shintaro Higashi, one of the best when it comes to quality information in judo on the planet.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that.
Yes, sir.
Big question today. What's the difference between judo and BJJ?
The spelling of the two, of the two things. Listen, judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are the same exact art. Different sports and same exact. I know a lot of people want to have an argument or a discussion about the difference in the culture of the two, and I've come across very hard on a lot of different platforms about it. I have a little bit softer approach today because we're at the Junior Olympics and we're in the Judo Tatami, so I'm going to be a little bit softer. But I do want to say this. Even though Jigoro Kano came up with judo, the terms jiu-jitsu and judo were synonymous with each other until like the 1950s. All right, and then the terms kind of split. I've said this, Robert Drysdale has gone over this in the literature. He's also put this out in his books. So when the art of judo came to Brazil, it was still called Kano Jiu-Jitsu in some places, in some phases.
So KJJ.
100%, which is essentially Brazilian judo.
Yeah.
But when you look at the film and you look at the old school text, if you go to My Study of Judo by Koizumi, if you look at any text by Isao Kano, you'll see the De La Hiva, you'll see butterfly guard, you'll see the kote waza, the wrist locks, you'll see the ashigarami, the leg locks. There is no move that is in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that is not in judo. All the evolutions that happen on the ground are the same evolutions that happen in standing. Because we have rule changes in judo, you always see these sport iterations in terms of moves and reverse Korean seonagi and the things off the sleeve and the things when you remove the touching of the legs and you have different versions of katagaruma, etc. So there's always going to be evolutions in terms of movements, but the core moves of judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are 100% absolutely the same. And to say that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not judo is just disingenuous at this particular point. The arts are 100% exactly the same, and the sports are different. Now, here's the thing. People say, what do you mean when you say the art? What I mean when I say the art is when you come into a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu facility, you come into a judo facility, the things that we're teaching, or we should be teaching in terms of understanding andragogy and pedagogy, how to teach children and adults. First thing that we teach, like I'm going to ask you, somebody comes in the dojo, what's the first thing you're teaching, Shintaro?
Bowing, respecting. I mean, I ask a lot of questions first, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, see why they're there first. I mean, you know, you got to like get them on the mat first, right? So it's like, hey, are you here for a trial, that stuff? Are you talking about after they're on the mat already with the white belt? I don't know. I think bow maybe.
Bow.
Start with bow, end with bow. It's a respect. You know, sometimes you forget. You know, sometimes you got to teach them how to tie pants first, you know, with the belt first. And did I do good? Did I answer that right?
No, right. And because we want them to enter into the culture.
Yeah.
So this is what you do. You learn how to tie your belt. You learn how to tie your gi. Sometimes we learn how to fold the gi. All right. Yep. Respecting the gi, respecting the area. How to bow on the mat. Mutual welfare, mutual benefit. These are the same. Okay. The arts are the same. And then we learn how to do what? We learn how to do the ukemi.
Ukemi, yeah.
Forward roll, backward roll. Then we learn the ebi movement, the shrimping. All the foundational skills are the same. If you're in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you do an outside trip, what do you call it?
Sotogari. Yeah.
So when you're on the ground and you get to the side mount, why do you call it the 100 kilo position? You know why you call it the 100 kilo position? Because nobody's taught you the name. And when you move away from a thing so far and you're no longer using the right names and terms, in the academic realm, we would call that a sense of bastardization. Okay? But we're not going to say that because we believe in mutual welfare and benefit. Yeah. We've gotten a little bit so far from the root that we've just got involved in enjoying the fruit. And I don't mind enjoying the fruit, but inside of the fruit is a seed. And if we don't have the appropriate seed to plant into the next generation of person, then what happens is we keep reinventing the wheel. And as much as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu believes that they're growing, they're really not growing at an exponential rate. They believe that they're growing at an exponential rate because what's happening is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is constantly changing and morphing. So we've gone from the gi community and then we go into the no-gi community, and then they have the arguments of the gi and the no-gi, and it's become fractured. And then you have the arguments of self-defense and sport, and it's become fractured because they don't have, or they've lost what we have in judo. In judo, we always have kata. Kata provides us to always maintain the root of our art. The strikes, the atemiwaza is in the kata. The kotewaza is in the kata. We go over the balance and the kazushi in the kata. We go over the basic throws, the goken no waza in the kata. You have people like Hickson Gracie trying to maintain the purity of Brazilian judo, the purity of Brazilian jiu-jitsu by saying, this is based in self-defense, but all the self-defense stuff that they do is in the kata.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Listen, the earlier that you recognize and accept that you're doing judo, the better off that you'll be. Why is that? Because putting the names to the things that you do and understanding mutual welfare and mutual benefit and understanding exactly where you come from is important to help you go where you need to go. Right now, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is to the point where it's spiraling out of control and they need to get everything back in order. Come back to judo. Come back to your roots. Pursue the double black belt. You have 2 double black belts in front of you right now, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why did we go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? We went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to get the things that we lost in terms of newaza from judo. Yep. We accepted that.
Yep.
We went.
I'll never forget, you taught me at a competition while we were both in the game. Let me teach you the best thing for you to learn. Omoplata sweep. Remember this?
Yes.
Omoplata, you grab the thing and go for that sweep, because when you're in the closed guard, people aren't doing anything. Getting an omoplata control position, very simple. You roll them and you pin them. Now, I've drilled this after you taught me this. Never actually hit it in competition, but I remember this. And I was probably 17, 18 years old. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the omoplata sweep, and I had got it from Lloyd Irvin.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cross grip on the sleeve,
Yeah.
pants grip, open the legs, go omoplata sweep.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you something. Going back to get the things that have been lost in sport because of rule changes isn't a bad thing. What we want to do is we want to put the things together. I mean, it's impossible to make a cake without the milk and the eggs and without the cake mix. You need all those things, but you also need a mixer. Right, and the mixer in this whole thing are the human beings inside of the environment. Like, we all are the ones that mix together. There's no sense in us being separate. When we're talking about diversity and inclusion, let's move that over into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo space. We all belong together.
So you're saying same martial art, different sport. That's what you're saying.
Same martial art, different sport. Everything that they do in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we do in Judo. And we're going to end like this. I want to give you guys this particular omoplata sweep that I showed Shintaro Higashi. I showed it to him, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was a teenager. I'm 40 now, so, at least 20 years ago.
Show it to you very quick.
All right, let's do it. Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Here, you want to do this?
Clip it in.
Clip it in. All right, here we go. Close guard.
All right, close guard. Let's move this way.
All right, here we go.
Close guard. What happens is that people are in this position in judo. You reach in, and they always hunker down. So we grab the sleeve, we grab the pants, and we pull everything. And we just open the legs, nice and smooth. We get to the omoplata, and then they get stuck here. This hand comes underneath. I grab my own lapel. I shrimp in, and then I turn, and then we roll. And when I get back, grab the pants, push down. Then I sit back into Munigatame.
What should we do to grow judo? What do you think?
Well, I'll say this, what you said, it's kind of good and it's also kind of bad. Yeah. So what we want to see is we want to see judo grow at an exponential rate like we're seeing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. And what we're looking at is we're looking at judo either stagnate or grow at an incremental rate, which is not the same thing that we're seeing on the international level. On the international level, even though the venues aren't as full, what we're watching Judo TV, there's more people watching online. There's a lot more people practicing judo. So the question is, how do we do this in the United States? Well, first and foremost, we have to create a sport that is more appealing. There's nothing cool and there's nothing fun by going to judo and in your first class, they teach you how to put on the gi, do a forward roll, do a backwards fall, and then you leave. And you come home and you ask, and your friends say, "Hey man, what'd you do today?" You say, "Watch this, I did this." And they're like, "Yeah man, what in the hell is that?" But the guy that goes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, he comes in, they get on a dummy, or they do a choke. Sometimes they're doing leg locks, which I don't agree with. But they're coming back home and they're showing their friends some cool stuff. I think that we need to make, first and foremost, we need to make class a little bit more appealing. What I've done, and hopefully some of you guys can take this as an example too, is I've utilized dummies inside of my dojo, which means the first day that a kid comes in, he can do arm bars. The first day that he comes in, he could do ogoshi. The first day that he comes in, he could do koshiguruma. The first day.
That's awesome.
Right, and then they can throw it, they can show their friends what they learned. I think that we need to make it a little bit more appealing. Number two, I think that every dojo owner has a responsibility to also be a proselytizer. They need to be on the internet. They need to be talking about their dojo. They need to be doing the marketing. They need to get online and show the moves. And the third thing, listen to me very carefully. I believe that when you're in the space and place and you have the designated rank of sensei, and you're teaching people not only a martial arts, but you're also teaching people some sort of self-defense. You have a personal responsibility to present yourself in such a way that you can defend yourself and do the moves. When somebody comes in the dojo and your belly is hanging over your belt, and you're and you can't touch your toes, and you can't move, and you can't do the moves. And we're all getting to the point. I'm getting to the point where I can no longer do some moves now too. Don't get me wrong, but taking care of yourself and becoming a leader in that particular space is important, because at the end of the day, what we do falls under the umbrella of physical education. And if I'm going to be a master of physical education, I should look like I'm a master of physical education.
You have a PhD in this?
Yeah, my PhD is in education, and I did my thesis on improving the performance in the NFL 225-pound bench press to failure test. So in some ways you could say that. And I've been a strength and conditioning coach too, but I think it sets up a bad precedent. When you look at most of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches, they're online, they're still working out, and one of the arguments is the judo guys don't roll with their students, or they don't go with their students.
It's hard.
No, it's hard to do judo, but you still need to get on the mat. You still need to move around with your students. I think, and the last thing is, I think that the organizations of United States Judo Federation, the USJA, and USA Judo need to find a way to work together. We're so fractioned, worrying about the wrong things. USA Judo, I understand that their thrust is to, move people towards the international space in terms of the Olympics and junior world team and cadet world team, etc. USJA their thrust is grassroots judo development. The USJF their thrust is not only grassroots development, but also to maintain the cultural integrity of the art. And all of those things are different. And I think that all the organizations need to kind of get together, get on a piece of paper and draw a Venn diagram and find out where we all meet together. I said, because we all meet together in the area of judo. And I think they're missing that a rising tide raises all the boats. Listen, if 200 people join the USJF, those are 200 more people that are doing judo. That's 200 more people that sooner or later they're going to get to you, and sooner or later they're going to get to me. Sooner or later they're going to get to a competition. Sooner or later they're going to get to a USJA event. Sooner or later they're going to get to that. Sooner or later. But if we're concerned about, I got this membership and you got that membership, and we're missing the boat. And the last thing that we need to do is all together. I think, and the last thing together, I think if we all do that, and then it's a lot easier for all of us to run more events. The thing that's hurting us right now is there's no events.
It's very true.
We need more. If you go on the smooth comp right now, and you 15, 20 judo events in the same city, in Orlando and in Miami and Philadelphia, we need more events. And I think if all the organizations work together, we'll end up having more events. So that's my take on it. I know it wasn't super, super sexy, but that's my particular take on it.
I thought you were going to go down the rabbit hole of judo and BJJ are the same. That's what I thought you were going to do.
No, but listen, so that's another thing. It's very difficult to get BJJ guys to come do judo.
It is.
Judo guys do BJJ all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And then they say, oh, look, I beat the judo guy. Yeah, you beat the judo guy in a rule set that he doesn't train or practice. The same way that he'll beat you
Yeah.
in a rule set that you don't train or practice.
Yep.
I just don't understand why more BJJ guys don't come and do judo. I just can't understand it.
I mean, can you imagine a jiu-jitsu guy coming up and then seeing you and you standing ready to double leg him? I mean,
well,
that's something to do with it.
It does have something to do with it. And I think that as much as our culture and sport is different, there's a level of rigidity in it that is off-putting as well. Like yesterday, I'm over here by the outside banner. I know they're trying to keep the floor area, correct, and I need to move back. And it's jiu-jitsu is like all welcoming. Everybody comes in and we're on the mat and hanging out, and like that particular side of the sports are different.
Very true.
And unfortunately, because those are the sides that most people see, that creates the largest division. But I would like to see more people do judo, to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. We have more people coming over now. We have more people pursuing the double black. We have Roger Gracie. You have Lord right. You have I know Lord Irvin has pursued his double black belt. I know you have Travis Stevens' double black belt. You have Temak Ono? Yes, double black belt. So we have a lot of exemplars in the space that are. I think Harry and Gary St. Ledger.
That's right.
Rick Hahn.
Yep.
So we have a lot.
Chris Round, right?
Yeah, Chris Round. Dr. Chris Round. Yeah, black belt under me. Yes. I think Timothy Spriggs, if I haven't said it, Timothy Spriggs just got his judo black belt.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of people in the space, and I think we just need more people to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, 100%.
Man. Thank you so much, Rhadi.
Man, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
I'm here with the Olympian, Dr. Rhadi Ferguson. Great to see you. But you're a very special guy, but today is not about you. It's about your kids.
100%. I'm going to back out, and I'm going to say this. Rufus and Rhadi are the first siblings to ever qualify for the junior world team together.
Wow, really? That's amazing. What's going on? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, first and foremost, how does it feel now that you're out here being a sibling and making the team? What's that like?
It feels good, but I always stay humble.
Okay.
Because the second I stay humble, it just goes wrong right
All right,
now.
nice. What about you?
For me, it's like being a pioneer. Like I was able to become like the first HBCU to qualify for the Junior World, so it's a very big accomplishment, and I'm very blessed to have this opportunity.
Right. So we did 78 plus and 100 plus, correct? Nice. I saw a bit of yours. You had the drop senagi, just like your daddy did, right? So does he emphasize the gripping, the newaza, the ippon senagi? Like, do you guys go over tactical stuff all the time, or what does that look like with your dad as a coach?
So most of the stuff that we do, it is tactical. We mainly focus on the grips first because you can't throw without holding on to somebody or having the grip. So the main training that we do have is like our grip training and our conditioning, because the skill is gonna, once you go up to the top, the skill is gonna just basically nullify, and it's basically gonna be equal on both sides. So the only thing that can distinguish you as an athlete or as a judoka is your conditioning and how powerful you are.
That's amazing. You have anything to add to that? He kind of said it all.
No, he was spot on with that. He was spot on.
Who's older?
I am.
You older?
Yes, I am.
All right, so how old are you guys?
I'm 19.
I'm 15 years old.
50? You just made a junior world team? Wow. Did you fight yesterday in the cadet?
Yes, I did.
You made that too, obviously.
Yes.
Wow. What about the senior world team? You going to go for that?
Maybe. If my coach makes me do it.
Yeah, I mean, you remember Caitlin Boysu did cadet, junior, and senior at the world at the same time, and she might be the second, right? What do you think about that?
I think it could happen. I think it could definitely happen. Next year we're going to focus on the Youth Olympics. Try to get the Youth Olympics out of the way, and then make another junior world team, and then start focusing on the next 12 to 18 months out on the Olympic trials.
So what sort of preparation are you doing from now? Like, they had a little bit of success here, actually a lot of bit of success. What's the next phase? Like, what are you guys doing to prepare? Are you guys trying to gain new skills? Like, what is the plan?
So what you do is you take a pair of underwear and you dip it in gasoline, and you put it on and you set it on fire.
All right.
And that's kind of what the training is like.
How about is that scary?
Not really.
Is that scary? I would have thought he'd be so scary.
When I was younger, yes. When I was younger, yeah.
Now he's pretty chill now that you guys are winning everything. Is that right?
100%. We put the work in. Well, to answer your question honestly, man, in the beginning of a 4-year cycle, you know this because you've done it before yourself.
Yeah.
It's a lot of volume, a lot of work, a lot of cardio, a lot of high volume lifting, a lot of repetitions with the Nike combos, a lot of repetitions with the throws, a lot of repetitions. The same 3 newaza movements over and over and over again. And then after that, we move into more of a power phase, power endurance. And then on the tournament side, we start going to more tournaments. Right now, we just kind of pick our spots. And then in the next year and a half, we'll just start tournament.
Yeah.
You know.
What's your favorite move?
Seonagi Osoto or Ouchi.
That's 3. That's amazing. I'm gonna feel like you're gonna say drop Seonagi.
That's my bread and butter. That is my bread and butter. Because at 100 plus, they're already too big. So if I get them to tilt over, they going for sure.
You know what the most disappointing thing about all this is?
Long live Morotegari.
That I was just about to say that. That the world doesn't get to see a Ferguson Morotegari this cycle, this era. You know, you got a spectacular. You can look up Rhadi Ferguson on YouTube, see these guys getting yoked like this. There's one with you and Jeff Monson. Remember that one? Right?
I remember.
It's very unfortunate that these guys don't have a platform to be able to highlight that. Do they cross-train in other grappling sports?
Well,
I mean, let me ask you.
I mostly do judo. I don't really do anything else.
We don't really cross-train in other sports because judo really is the top of the food chain. So it's really judo and then everything comes after that. So judo is jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu is judo. So I like read that.
Oh, that's amazing.
listen, judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu are the same exact art.
How about you guys have a favorite lift, like a bench squat? Do you guys have any great numbers that you want to sort of brag about?
315 on deadlift.
Damn.
For reps.
For 5.
For 5. So that's like a
Yes.
365 max maybe? Or what do you think?
Maybe about 385, 405.
Maybe.
So I don't really try to max because of I don't like maxing, but I have hit 315 on the bench for 1 rep.
That's amazing. What was your crown lifting thing?
Prime lifting, I used to squat 315 for sets of 20 to warm up.
Warm up.
Yeah, 2 sets of 20 to warm up, and then after that, 2 sets of 15 of 385, and then 2 sets of 8 of 405, and then a set of 6 to 455. Then I'll come back again on the deadlift. But I would bench 405, but I never went over 405. But I've done 315 on the bench for sets of 8 and 10.
Do you recommend that sort of volume for these guys? You know, it puts a lot of tax on the joints. Does it really help beyond a certain point, you know, being able to bench an X amount? What do you think about that?
I told somebody else today, there's a difference between health and wellness and fitness. To be fit for your sport doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy. So I was fit to do the judo, but that type of training is not necessarily healthy for the rest of my life. It's like when you play football, you're an old lineman, you got to be fit, so you got to be 320 pounds. But when the football's over, you need to lose the weight for your health.
All right, another question. Obviously, Rufus is amazing, big, strong, fast, all that stuff. A 315 bench versus a 405 bench. You think that's going to help his judo? Is that something that he should strive for and then be in the gym doing progressive overload, or no?
Strive for no, but Rufus is way stronger than I was at 19 years old. When I came into college at 18, I was 188 pounds. Like at 19,
188 pounds?
Yeah, at 19 years old. Yeah, at 19 years old, he's bigger than I am, and he's stronger than I am, and he's benching and lifting more than I was at that age. Right, and so is she.
Awesome. So, you know, it's a very important time in your career. You know, you're in your late teens doing judo, having a lot of success at this level. A lot of the times, you know, we lose great athletes to medical school or career stuff. Like, what is your plan for the future? Like, what do you guys want to pursue this thing 100% all out? Like, what does that look like for you guys?
Well, first, I do want to go to college, but
That's the thing to do, right?
I have no choice. But maybe I might do seniors after 18. I'm still deciding if my bones are good for that.
In college already, probably, right?
Yes. So I didn't want to be one of those statistics that stopped doing judo after I went into college. So the main thing was that my head coach, he was accepting that I do judo as like a off training, on the off season, because I told him when I was at linebacker, it used to help really well, because I was able to track the hands, I was able to get off blocks, I was able to shed tackles.
I think you gotta go somewhere, right?
We got to go pretty soon. Rhadi has to go to the podium, then Rufus has to go to the podium.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much. Where can they find you, the people who want to be fans and follow your judo career? Where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Hall of Fame Rufus. No, Hall of Fame _ Rufus. But we already speaking into existence.
It's HOF _ Rufus. All right, and mine is at Rhadi Ferguson or at Tampa, Florida Judo. And this is my man Chris Round, who also
let me bring Chris Round in the game.
Chris also helps. So
don't
Chris,
go anywhere.
So Chris also helps train my kids.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm part of his master's program.
Yeah.
So I used to coach him, and now he kind of coaches me.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
You can also find all of us on at High Noon Judo.
High Noon Judo, yeah.
All right, I'm about to exit because I got to go take pictures.
Yeah, thank you.
Because Dr. Chris said I need to go take the pictures in the chat. I'm doing that right now.
Thank you very much, sir. How are you?
All right, Chris, dude, you looked the part, man. You looked the part. Look at this.
Look, I gotta show up. I gotta make sure that I have a professional look.
Yep.
And look, at the very least, I gotta look as good as I want to be.
So how do your athletes do today?
Good. So I mean, Rhadi and Rufus did great. They both qualified for Junior Worlds. Chloe,
You go coach them there?
Yep, that's the plan. I'll go coach them at Junior Worlds. Chloe Williams should get the wild card, so I'll go coach her as well. Rhadi and Chloe yesterday both made the Cadet World team. So we're very excited about that, and we're doing really well.
So what percentage of the success would you attribute to the systematic statistical analysis that you've been doing with the athletes?
Oh my God, I'd say about 50%.
Wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah, because here's the deal. I don't have a ton of bodies, but so I make sure that all my folks know exactly what they're walking into before each match.
Nice.
We have it set where it allows us to punch well above our weight as a club.
All right, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something interesting. I've never done this before. A compliment sandwich, okay? For USA Judo. Something good that they're doing, something that they can work on, and then something good that they're doing. Let's do that.
All right. Well, first off, I think Ed is doing a great job in terms of creating some really cool training opportunities for people to go abroad.
Okay.
They're sending people to Valencia, which I think is fantastic.
Valencia?
Yep. Valencia, Spain. So go train at the training center there. Last year they sent kids to Japan. They paid their way for that. They're doing some good work with US Open. So I'd say that's one.
Yep.
Two. I think that when you look at you look at what I'm doing, it's what a lot of the major countries are doing. It's what Brazil's doing, Israel's doing. The software platform I actually use and I used to get my initial data together was developed in Sweden and I believe was okayed by Ericsson and to get the initial seed funding. So shout out to Athlete Analyzer for having a great platform. So I think if we were to integrate that more, and overall as a community of coaches, it is not a zero-sum game. We all need to be working together as a group.
Sure.
And I think sometimes people get stuck too much in the rat race as a whole. So I think if we bring everyone together who has an interesting skill set, I think we'll be really, really successful.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you, Chris. Do you have anything to say to the world of judo on YouTube?
Sure.
And jiu-jitsu too. There's jiu-jitsu people watching as well. You know?
First off, you're following a great guy and following Shintaro. Second, you can find my club at High Noon Judo, as mentioned, or myself at Chris _circle, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. That was awesome.